Headphones, field recording, are they important? Yes. So I finally decided to go with these MX50s Audio-Technica headphones. These aren't the best for monitoring sound in the world. They're also not very expensive, around 150 bucks at the time that I bought them. But I'm gonna go over a few things of why I've decided to go with these guys over the competition in the similar price range, and why you wanna go with a headset like this over something like, say, the Sennheiser 598s, which are super popular, but they're open back headsets. Let's first just talk about why you want something that's closed back, okay? So if I'm sitting here right now and I'm recording myself and I put these headphones on and I'm listening to myself, if these are open back headphones, if there's a lot of sound leaking out, you're actually gonna pick up an echo from the boom mic. So if, say, you have a client that's in your studio and you're doing a voiceover and you want them to be able to listen to themselves so they can hear the S's, they can hear them doing things like that, or, rustling of their hands and paper. So it is kind of important to be able to hear yourself and hear how you sound on the recording. And if you have an open back headset or something that leaks sound, that's going to end up in the recording. Even when I'm recording, I'm sitting behind the camera or I'm on a boom pole, I want to be able to not leak what's going on in here into the recording. Another huge benefit of having a closed back headset like these is you can actually isolate the sound that you're recording versus what's going on in the environment. So you may actually be able to pick up things like rustling wind noises. You may be able to hear a frequency from a fridge, which you may not be able to hear if you had an open back headset or something that didn't isolate the sound better. Form factor. These headphones will fold up. And I want you to look at this. This is huge. If you need to actually put this in a bag or something like that, they can actually travel with you a lot easier. They also have a detachable headphone jack. So if you break something, you want to make it even smaller, you want to switch out the type of connection that you're using. Right now I'm using a quarter jack, which, by the way, I love this. So you can pull on it and it's not going to break as easy. So I've got a quarter jack connection, but you can also put a 3.5 millimeter or eighth jack on there. It's not too difficult. They can twist and turn and bend and all that kind of stuff. Pro tip, if you're like me and you have a lot of devices like the Zoom H6 or H5, or you're listening to your audio through your camera, which has a 3.5 millimeter jack, and you say you have a quarter jack, or even if you don't, let's say you have a 3.5, what I recommend doing is use breakaway cables. Either do a 3.5 to quarter and use something like this, or just go 3.5 to 3.5. Use a break-off cable, because what this does is it allows it to hang. And if you walk away or someone steps on your cable, it pulls away here and not at the camera. And so if a lot of force is applied, you're not actually going to break off this little connection inside your camera. You're not going to break it off in your auto recorder. And certainly you're not going to break it off here. What I ran into with my Bear Dynamics is I kept breaking the cables off, and I kept re-soldering, taping, redoing all this stuff. I went through this like 4 or 5 times before I just gave up on it. Like, let's just compare these in size. This is another closed back pair, the Bear Dynamics, similarly priced. I love the sound of these a lot better, but look at the size of these, just, side by side here. If I actually take these and fold these up here, let's fold the M50s up. You can see how much of a pain these Bear Dynamics are going to be, these DT770s, to actually put in your bag. So you got to put them on their side. You're taking up a large amount of space. It doesn't seem like much, but you can drop these right in, like, say, like a think tank bag, where these are that's just not going to work. There are some cheaper alternatives for about 40, 50 bucks, something like that. You can get like a HyperCloud gaming headset, which is again, it's going to be a little bit bigger. It's not going to have the detachable cable, and you're not going to get as quite good sound, but it does isolate things pretty well. You do have a detachable cable here. The Bear Dynamics DT770s do not have that. But yeah, they don't really fold down, and they're open back. So any noise that you're making through these is going to end up in your recording, and you're not going to be able to isolate what you're actually recording from what you're hearing around the recording when you're listening to your recordings. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you go with something like the DT770 Pros, the amount of ohms they have, this is a 250 ohm headset. So to power these, you're gonna need like a good amp in the field to go in between your recorder and your headset, which is just not ideal. So you wanna make sure you get a low ohm version of any headset you're getting. These Audio-Technicas can be driven by my cell phone or anything else, and they sound great, they're loud enough. So yeah, just kind of a quick tip. Highly recommend getting the breakaway cable. Get a closed back headset. Just make sure it's rugged enough and it's gonna be able to actually get inside your bag that you're carrying, or else you're just not gonna bring them. You're gonna bring earbuds or something else. Consider something with a detachable cable. So you can go from quarter to 3.5 or back and forth. And you know, in case you break something, you can also swap something out right on the spot so you can just keep rolling. As always, I've got links in the description of timestamps, you know, links to all of the products that are in this video, and I'll see you guys at the next video.